This program is brought to you by Spiky Footwear. Just spike it. G'day and welcome to a RetroTinker special project episode. We're going to be working on something really fun today. So I'm a big fan of a little YouTube show called Motu's Night Live. The legends Phil, Adam and Xazyl regularly get together to discuss all things related to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. One reoccurring theme on the show is Xazyl's hatred of the character Spikor.
Ugh, Spikor, garbage, yuck. Spikor and going, no, that's not a good figure. This is not, whatever. I didn't like the look of it. I didn't like the action feature of it. Spikor too.
I don't know.
Should have put the whole thing on the barbecue. Get rid of it.
The barbecue as well.
Throw the whole thing on there. Garbage. You've got a stupid gimmick arm that didn't extend that far.
Yeah.
Boo, Spikor, boo. That's just sorry. The 5-year-old in me is just hating on Spikor.
So we know Xazyl's not a fan of Spikor, but do you know who he is a huge fan of? The wrestling legend, Sergeant Slaughter. So I thought to myself, poor old Spikor doesn't quite deserve the hate in my opinion. If I could just bridge that gap somehow, find a way to turn something he hates into something he loves, that'd be perfect. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this broken Spikor figure and I'm going to customize it into a special Sergeant Spikor figure. Then Xazyl will have no choice but to open up his heart and find a little room for Spikor. Or alternatively, he's going to hate it and me and have me banished from YouTube for all eternity. Let's roll those dice, baby. So first thing I'm going to have to do is fix this torso. Luckily, I still have the pieces from when it broke. So I'll glue it back together with this plastic cement. Okay, so the plan from here is I'd like to make a mold of Spikor's head. At this point, I'd prefer not to ruin an original part if I can help it, so we'll see how we go. Alrighty, let's see how we did. There's a pretty good chance that there'll be a few air bubbles in there. I did forget to put in a vent. We'll see. So he doesn't look too bad from this angle, but he does, however, have a lot of air bubbles on his spikes. I think I'll just rebuild those with some milliput. That way I won't have to cast another one. So to make a copy of Sarge's face, or at least a close enough one, I'm just going to push his face into this Sculpey here, and then mix up some resin and pour it in. And I should have something at least closely resembling Sarge to start with, and I can modify it from there if I need to. And you might have noticed that I wiggled it around a bit there. That's because Sergeant's face is just a bit smaller than Spikor's, so I thought if I just stretch it out a little bit, it'll just be a slightly exaggerated face. So I'm just going to fill up the mold with some UV resin, and I've borrowed my lovely wife's nail lamp to cure the resin. Get all this Sculpey cleaned off, and then we'll see what we've got at the end. So it took a fair bit of scrubbing and scraping to get it clean. The heat from the chemical reaction had started to bake the Sculpey a bit, so it was stuck on there pretty well, but it cleaned up all right. That's a pretty good approximation of Sarge. I'll also have to slice his face off so that I can glue Sarge's on, and then get some milliput and yeah, put some details in. So I'm going to remove all this material up to this line so that it'll make room for Sarge's face, and then I basically am going to be turning this spiky head into a big spiky oversized helmet. Well, that took way too long. I probably should have got out some power tools or something, but then I would have had to go outside. But it's coming along. So if I can recess that area there and get Sarge's face, not sort of, way out here, but get it inside to about that level, I think that would work. Obviously I'll have to cut the top of his head off for that to fit it in. Yeah, it's coming together. It's ridiculous. I love it. I am loving how this is coming together. Before I go any further, I'm going to give this thing a coat of primer just so that I can see all the little details. It's kind of hard to see with everything being transparent. Just look at this. Look how ridiculous this is. I love it. Now, I guess I'll get to work with some Milliput to fill in these details. Alright, that's good enough, I think. I'm not being too fussy. I'll just give this a quick clear coat so the finished product will be glossy, then I'll get to work making a mold. Well, I won't be able to say that I don't have vents in this one. Hopefully it works a bit better than the last mold. It's not pretty, but yeah, hopefully it works. Alright, let's go pour some silicone. Alright, it's finally set. Moment of truth time. Well, that's just a bit disappointing. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be worse than the first one. I really need to invest in a pressure pot one of these days. You may have noticed I used a different type of resin. This stuff is nice and soft and flexible, so the head should be able to push down into the body. Yeah, I guess I will go and try casting another one. We'll see if I can get a better casting. This one's, it's a bit better than the last one. It still has a few air bubble issues in it. I think I can work with this. I'll just have to rebuild a couple of those spikes. Yeah, I'll know more once I get it tidied up a bit and spray a bit of primer on. We'll see how it looks then. So the bubbles are still pretty bad in this. I'm not all that happy, but I'm just going to lean into it, and this will be a battle damaged helmet, which I reckon is actually kind of suitable for Sarge. If he did have a big spiky helmet on it, I assume he would use it for both offensive and defensive purposes. Yeah, anyway, I will just fill in these air bubbles with a bit of Aerodite or something, and yeah, it'll be battle damaged. I mean, I could try again, but at this point in time, I'm just chasing my tail with these air bubbles. Until such time as I invest in something like a pressure pot, it's probably pointless worrying about it too much. This will do the trick. And yeah, if maybe one day I do get myself a pressure pot, I might revisit this and do it again properly. And if I do that, then maybe I'll send out a replacement in the mail or something. But for now, we'll get this patched and sanded, and yeah, then we'll throw some paint on him. Glaringly obvious faults aside, he's ready for another coat of primer, and then yeah, we'll put some colour on. Would you look at that? I am very happy right now. I mean, the colour's a little bit off from the original pieces, but still, from what I could just get at my local hardware store in a pressure pack can, that's pretty good. So now, I guess it's time to paint the face. Is this not the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen? I'm sorry everybody. This video is 90% me just giggling to myself about how ridiculous this is. I guess now I can trim off this excess plastic and stick his head in his body. I'll also run a drill bit down the center there just to give this neck piece a bit of extra squish. This resin is quite soft, but I think it would benefit from having a little less material on the inside. There we go, it's nice and squishy, so we've hopefully got a chance of getting his head into his body without re-breaking it. Unfortunately, this resin isn't quite as strong as I was hoping. Still got a chance of getting it in. If it doesn't work out, I might just have to glue it in. I grabbed my craft knife and I've trimmed down the neck a little bit, so that might help. Fingers crossed. Haha! Success! Oh, his face is so tiny. Oh my word, that's ridiculous. Alright, that's it for part 1. I hope you've enjoyed yourself so far. If you have, then please drop a like, comment, subscribe, tickle the old algorithm, and head on over to watch part 2. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.
You can't go, Sarge. It'll be a suicide mission. You're just not spiky enough. You don't get to tell me how spiky I can be. What am I becoming? What have I become? Brought to you by Spiky Footwear.